Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Alicia here, and welcome to my reading vlog. I wanted to see how many books I can get through this week, and the first book that is up on our list is Lore of the Wilds. If you've seen my previous video where I talk about my 2026 resolutions for reading, this is January's book of the month, and so I want to get through this book a little bit. I have been reading or listening to the audio for a bit. It was picking up and then it started to slow, and right now I'm at that slow stage, so I don't know if I'm gonna start this one in this video yet because I'm still at the parts of it being slow. But another book that I am reading along with some of my reading buddies is Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson is an automatic buy for me. Any book that she comes out with, I'm automatically buying it. I don't need to read the synopsis, even though I don't read the synopsis anyways, but I love all of her books. I've read all of her books, and so this one I am excited to get into. I only read the prologue, which captivated me as always, and so I'm going to listen to the audio for that one as well, but I'm gonna read along in the ebook, and that's what you will see coming up. I just finished chapter 4 of Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. One of the ladies that I am reading with, she stopped there, and the other two haven't responded yet as far as how far they are in the book. And so I am enjoying this so far. From what I can tell you based off of the synopsis, I just got finished reading the synopsis because I wanted to make sure that I don't say anything that is not in the synopsis. We just got to the part where a strange event occurred that might lead to this shocking murder, because it says shocking murder in the synopsis, and that's why I'm looking down, because I just want to make sure that I'm not saying anything. But Kailani is basically our female main character, and she is spending a lot of her time on the phone with her imprisoned father, and her mom suggested, or basically forcing her to go to Martha's Vineyard with family and friends because there's a beach there, there's children her age there, and her mom feels like that can just be a way for her to kind of get out of her environment. She is born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and so her mom's like, well, you can travel to Martha's Vineyard, whereas the town of Oak Bluffs is what it's called, and hopefully that she can kind of just be a kid, because she's 12 years old, and like I said, she's spending all of her days talking to her imprisoned father. And so while she's at Martha's Vineyard, a shocking murder happens, and they don't know if it's a drowning, a shark attack, or anything like that. They just know that something happened. Someone got killed, and they're trying to find out who did it. And so it's a murder mystery based off the prologue. And like I said, it really had captured me. A lot of water was involved, I'll just say. But as far as what I just read from the prologue to now chapter 4, it is going good. It's still keeping me intrigued. It's very fast paced, especially listening to the audio and following along. But the book itself is like 170 something pages, and it's really fast paced. That's how Tiffany D. Jackson writes anyways, and so I'm trying not to go ahead of the buddy readers that I'm reading this with, so that's why I just stopped at chapter 4. But I really would love to keep going. I reached back to them to let them know where I'm at and to see where they're at, to see if I'm able to read more or not. So I'm waiting on a response. I'm not going to read Lore of the Wilds just yet. I think I'm gonna leave today for Blood in the Water, and then tomorrow I'll do Lore in the Wilds. Let me tell you where I'm at with Lore in the Wilds. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm back. So funny enough, I'm actually on chapter 4 as well in Lore of the Wilds. That's 30 pages in of 344, and like I said, I have really reached a part where I'm not interested in the book. But if you've seen not that I'm not interested, like where I don't ever want to read it again, it's just that is nothing keeping me wanting to pick this book up. And so I'm just kind of dragging my feet with it. But if you've seen my video about the books that I have to read each month for this year, this one is January's, and I said that I will not DNF it because I am good for DNFing a book if I lose interest or if something else catches my attention, and then it'd be years before I pick that book up again. And so I'm forcing myself to read certain books each month, and this one is one of them. And so I'm not going to DNF it. A part of me wants to start over and read this again, because to tell you, I couldn't even tell you right now what's going on. Like, that's how detached from this book is, and I'm already on page 30. So that says a lot. So a part of me wants to just start over, which I probably will do tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start over Lore of the Wilds, and you guys will get my play-by-play thoughts as I read. I think what I'll do is read, I think there's a prologue in this as well. Give me a second. I'm just looking at the book. No, it starts with chapter 1. So I will read 1 through 4 tomorrow with you all and go from there. Hopefully, like I said, I get a response back from the buddy readers that I'm reading Blood in the Water with, so that I can kind of like get further along in this book. No, it wasn't them, that message. Okay, so that I could get further along in this book. But if not, then I will just work on some writing projects that I have in the works, and you would have seen my writing updates, that video. Those are the 2 projects that I'm working on. So if you haven't seen that video, it's in the cards right now. Go ahead and check that video out after this, or come back to this. But yes, I'll probably do that tonight, and then until I get tired and go to bed. So I will catch you all tomorrow. This is like my 5th time trying to record this video. I just got off work, so I am tired. But this is day 2. And I am about to restart Lore of the Wilds. Hopefully, I am able to make a dent into this book. I know what I had mentioned yesterday was that I wasn't really enjoying it, and I don't really remember anything that I read. So what I'm going to do is just restart it. I have the ebook. I know I showed you all the physical copy, but I just honestly don't feel like holding it in my hand. So I'm going to listen to the Audible while reading on the ebook, and I won't check back in with you all until I'm ready to stop reading, which may come quick because I am already tired, but I at least want to read what I supposedly have read already, which is up to chapter 4. So hopefully I can get that tonight, but I want to shoot for maybe chapter 6 just to kind of, like I said, make some dent into this book. But I want to get back to Blood in the Water. So that could be a reward for me, that if I read at least to chapter 4 minimum, then if I still feel like reading, I can get back to Blood in the Water. So I won't check in again until I have made some progress in Lore of the Wilds. I decided to get into something a little comfy. So I don't want you to think that because of the outfit change that this is a whole new day. This is just something I just got out of the laundry. And so just put it on because it's clean. It was readily available. And I just wanted to get comfortable before I actually do my night routine. But I just reached chapter 5, and I think if I would have read chapter 4 longer, I would have started to enjoy it, because in the middle of chapter 4 is when it's actually starting to pick up for me. At least it's keeping my interest now. Basically, the Lord is forcing her to this library area. She got some rules and regulations. She's being escorted by another person who is very rude. And so far, I'm intrigued by the library portion of it. I want to see how that goes. But my mind keeps going back to Blood in the Water. So I'm going to switch gears. I'm on page 39. That's what my Kindle says for Lore of the Wilds. So I must pause here, and then I'm going to pick up Blood in the Water, and I'll come back with that to see how that goes. This is day 3, and last night I was able to finish Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. I really enjoyed that book. It was very shocking discoveries. If you know anything about Tiffany D. Jackson, she writes about real world incidences or histories, and she turns it into YA, makes it thrilling, makes it exciting, and she puts her own little twist on it. So this one was another one where you're like learning history and seeing how now these characters are going to play out or fit into the history. And I enjoyed it, gave it 5 stars. I enjoy the aspect of the main female character and how she was just kind of true to herself and trying to find out about the murder and wondering why nobody else is looking at other avenues of how that person could have died. I enjoyed it a lot. Right now, I am waiting for a meeting that I have to go to for work, and so I am listening to Lore of the Wilds. I just reached chapter 5, and so I am going to continue to listen to that until it's time for my meeting, and then I will check back in with you all. So as of right now, 1 book down, reading another book, and hopefully I can finish this book this week. We'll see. If not, then just stay tuned. Hello, so this is day 4. I'm gonna continue editing this actual video right now, and once I get to this part of me doing this video, I am going to try to listen to Lore of the Wilds while I'm at work and see how far I get through there. Well, I told you guys that I was at chapter 5, but I was actually at chapter 6, or I had stopped at chapter 6. And so far, like I said, I'm enjoying it. But coming from Blood in the Water and then now going to this is not giving me the same feels, where, like I said before, that I want to continue to pick up the book, stuff like that. And so hopefully it goes along, because this book is long. It's long because I'm not enjoying it, and so hopefully it gets going. Hopefully I can make a dent in this. I intend to at least reach, if I'm on chapter 6, I intend to at least reach chapter 11 by today, by the end of the day, because I want to finish this book, and I can't DNF it. I would have DNF'd it by now, but I can't. So that's my plan. I'm gonna get back to editing, and then I'll catch you back after I either make a dent in Lore of the Wilds, or if I reach a point where I want to talk about the story. You all, I'm on my way home from work, and I'm listening to Lore of the Wilds. Listen, everything in me, okay, everything in me wants to just call it quits and try again another month. But I don't know. Should I just And by the time you see this video, January gonna be over with. So I need to make a decision now. If I switch books and February's book I read now, and put this book, like rearrange the order, because I really didn't pick each month for the books in a particular way. I was just picking at random. So as long as I read it this year, look at me trying to like rationalize this, but as long as I read this book this year, I'm still good, right? Like, what would you do? What would you do? Let me know down in the comments below. Should I just rearrange my order, pick another book for this month, and put Lore of the Wilds in the back burner? Or should I suffer through this and read the book? Because at this point, I'm giving it a 2. And I don't want to like force myself to read something that I'm not enjoying, because reading is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. It's supposed to be an escape. It's supposed to be, you know, a happy time, a fun time, an exciting time. And for me to just force myself to read something for the sake of just reading it, I don't get enjoyment out of that. And then that's how you get into reading slumps, because you've been reading books you don't really enjoy and you can't seem to find that mojo again. And so let me know in the comments below what I should do. If I should soft DNF this for another month and read another book that I'm supposed to read this year, or force myself to read it. Let me know. This is day 6 of this reading vlog. Yesterday, day 5, I didn't do any reading because I was still in between if I wanted to continue with Lore of the Wilds or start another book. So what I decided today was to actually start There's Someone Inside Your House. And I am 27% in. I want to say I reached chapter 6, so that's where I stopped. I need to read chapter 6, starting at chapter 6. But it is really good so far. Basically, you know how I don't be reading the synopsis. Came to live with her grandmother and she's still just doing her life. Okay, so you understand that from the synopsis, you understand that students are dying in a high school, and Makani Young recently moved and is basically determining if she's going to survive the killer's twisted plan. So chapter 1 leads, you meet this person and certain strange things starts happening with an egg-shaped timer. And then at the end of the chapter, that person dies. And so then the second chapter is now we're introduced to Makani Young, and they start talking about that murder. And so I haven't reached another murder yet, but so far so good. I'm just learning about Makani, her crush, and just the different friends that she have in high school, and like her little rivalry that she has with someone. And so, like I said, I've read all of chapter 5, so really not that much or far into the book, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I was enjoying Lore of the Wilds. So I'm going to continue with this on for the rest of this month. This will now be my January book of the month, and I will move Lore of the Wilds to a different month. Which month? I don't know right now, but I know that I still have to read that book. In the meantime, while I was reading this book, There's Someone Inside Your House, I've also been able to finish 2 other books, I want to say. Yes, 2 other books. One is Christmas Kisses in the Dark, and I really enjoyed that book. I gave it 5 stars. It's really about this woman who is in a corporate business. Her office, she's stuck in her office because she's snowed in, and the security guard there is supposed to be security over her floor and the floor below. And so because they're snowed in, they're kind of stuck together. The owner of the building tells them that there's a suite on a certain floor that they can use because they can't get anybody to come to where they're at to rescue them because them themselves can't drive out, and then people trying to come to them is too much snow that they're not able, so they're stuck at their office basically. And so a lot of stuff goes down. It's spicy, it's nice. You have a gap age with it of the woman being older, and so it was a really, really great book. It was a short read, and I really enjoyed it, gave it 5 stars. The next book that I read was Clock It, which is a Bookisode 1, an urban fiction hood drama spicy short read. And this one I ended up giving 2 stars. I did not like this book. There was a lot of grammatical errors. I don't believe editing was done in this book, which wouldn't take from the actual storyline, because I know if you read Your Wish Is My Command, that was like that was me first getting into this writing industry, and since then I've changed my writing skills and stuff like that. So I'm not judging off of that, but the storyline itself was not intriguing. It was a short story read. That's why I was able to finish it, because I was hoping the story would pick up, and the way that it was alluding that the story was going to get better, but it just never did. And then I know that this is, I think, a 3-book series, and I'm just not interested in reading or finishing this out. And even the way that it ended, it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, I want to pick up the next book. And so I gave it a 2 stars. Mostly my 1-star ratings are books that I DNF'd and don't plan on picking up again. And then my second star rating is when I really just didn't like the book, and I will never recommend it again. The 3 stars I will recommend, but it just maybe wasn't my type of storyline, or it had me intrigued, but the ending was just like horrible. And so it was just like, it was a good book, but it was just the ending. And then the 4th star is something where it was a great book, I would recommend, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of feels with that. And then 5-star reads is more of, I would definitely read this again. I of course would recommend it. But mostly 5-star reads are books that I would actually read again, and it gave me all feels or a great reading experience when I was reading that book. So that's a little bit of how I rate my books. But yeah, so what I am planning to do, because I know tomorrow is going to finish out this vlog, what I plan to do, I'm in the middle right now of reading Butt Naked and Hennessy, but I actually think I'm about to DNF this one. I'm going to give it one more chapter, and if not, I will DNF this. There's been other books that I was like reading in between this all, but I ended up DNFing because it was just like, what is going on? I know I have been reading also One for All, which is supposed to be a, what is it with the swords? It's kind of like a Three Musketeers retelling, but it's a woman instead of a guy. And I just been kind of like slowly reading this. I'm 33% in, but I'm really not. I'm reached a slow part. And that's the thing, because this book is 389 pages. And so a lot of times with books like that, there's a lot of fluff in there. There's a lot of slow parts where it's just like, come on, how is this feeding into the plot? How is this feeding into the storyline? And I'm just bored, and I think I've reached that part. And I think that's what it is, the same with Lord of the Wilds. I've found that with books that are over like 200 and something pages long, if it's not keeping my interest at like everything, like every page or every chapter, there's something extravagant going on, then there's a lot of just fluff areas, and then it's like, oh, I feel like DNFing it. So that's where I'm at right now. But I don't want to DNF it, because this has been on my TBR for a while. This came out in 2022, if that says anything. And when it said Three Musketeers retelling, I was sold on that. And so I'm trying to give it, some due. It's 3.84 rating, 3.84 star rating on Goodreads. So I'm hoping that it picks up, but I'm going to give it 2 more chapters. And if not, that's going to be another DNF. But that is it. I plan to check back in with you all probably tomorrow afternoon, because I don't see myself, even though I am enjoying There's Someone Inside Your House. It's the thriller, and it's nighttime right now, and I honestly don't like writing or reading thrillers at night because I live with just Scooby, and as you know, I'm a scaredy cat, and so I'm not trying to be having all the lights on, all the doors open, all making sure all the doors inside are open, and making sure all my front door and the back door is locked. I'm not trying to go through all that. And so I'm going to put on something that's a little more fluffier, a little more lighter. Like I said, I want to read maybe one more chapter of Butt Naked and Hennessy and see if I actually want to continue this. But if not, I will find something else that's on my Kindle Unlimited and read that. But I will, regardless, tomorrow when I check back in with you, which will be day 7, the last day of this week reading, I will let you all know where I'm at. Hopefully I made some type of dent in this book, and then hopefully maybe tonight I finish another book so that I can get that to you as well. So overall, I finished during this reading vlog, I finished 3 books, which was Blood in the Water, Christmas Kisses in the Dark, and then Clock It. And then I'm in the middle of technically, what is this, four books, which is, I'm still including Lord of the Wilds because I do want to get through that sometime. That is a book that I have to get through this year, so it may just join in on another month, or it may just be a month itself. But then I'm also in the middle of One for All, Butt Naked and Hennessy, and then of course There's Someone Inside Your House. So I'm gonna quit yapping because you know I'm a yapper, and yeah, hopefully read and finish another book. See you all tomorrow. Good night. This is day 7, and I wanted to go ahead and close this video out. I did not complete any other books from the last time that we spoke. I've been reading a little bit, but then I would DNF the book. So I haven't completed any other book, but I am still reading There's Someone Inside Your House. I am enjoying it. I'm at chapter 11, and 2 people already died. Well, so I told you already about the first person that died, and so 2 additional people have died already, and so it is getting really, really good. I do intend on finishing this month. I know by the time you see this, is going to be at the end of the month, but I am going to finish this. But by the time I'm filming, it is around the holiday, MLK holiday, so I do still have some time to finish this book. I do intend to finish it maybe tomorrow, but like I said, I want to go ahead and finish this week out and finish this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do this again. I do have some other type of videos coming up, like with my writing updates, and even maybe having a reading sprint versus a weekly reading. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next one.